Welcome to Pax Europiana, the Sunset Talks here in Durrës, and this one about Austrian-Albanian friendship and relations. No better place than this to discuss it. This, by the way, is the Alexander Mosio University. That's the State University of Durrës. Amazing building and beautiful here. And he is, of course, a famous Austrian-Albanian. He was born in Durrës and lived in Trieste during the monarchy, went to Vienna to be successful, and he was a very famous opera star, musical star. And I don't know his exact background because, my friends, I'm not very good in cultural things, but he is one of the most famous Austrian-Albanian, and they have named, actually he was famous in Austria, they named the State University in Durrës after him. And that's also a sign how these Austrian Albanians who were successful in the Austrian monarchy, they were obviously now still in high regards. There were a lot of Albanians who looked for a future outside of the Ottoman Empire, and also then in the turmoil of Albania coming to Vienna or other cities, Trieste, and they were making their good contribution. Obviously the most famous in Austria still today is this Karl Ritter von Geger. He is very famous in the technical community. He was the engineer to build this famous Semmering railway, and he was on the Austrian money some years ago before the euro and the shilling, and so he is quite well regarded and still quite well known, highly regarded. But Mr. Moisio, for example, is not so well known, and it's up to the Austrian Albanian societies to really keep up the history alive. We have a great history together. I personally was active for 2.5 years in the Austrian Society in Albania as a board member, and I was also then active in Albania and Kosovo Society, in Kosovo Austrian Society. So I know some of the history, and I will try to tell you some of the bilateral relations that are exciting and interesting here in Durrës. In the Sunset, I will talk you through Albanian-Austrian history. By the way, out there, a bit to the north, lies the Linz. That was the biggest Austrian navy ship. It was sunk in 1918 by, I think, the Italian Navy, and it was the biggest naval tragedy of Austria here and down there. I think thousands of Austrians and refugees and administrators of Austrian occupied Albania, because for 3 years Austria was the dominant power here from 1915 to 1918, or was it 16 in February, I think, 16. And then the Austrian army took the administration, the military administration of Albania, until the defeat in, I think it was in September or November in 1918. And then the Linz was targeted, the people up there. It was the biggest naval catastrophe in Austrian history. Yes, Albanian-Austrian history goes a long way. It is a very important aspect of European history, and we have a lot to achieve together. And it was, I think, when it goes to the 19th century, of course it's important to see Austria tried much with the Prizren League together, but ultimately was not strong enough for independence of Albania.